So for the past couple of weeks, I've been reading this book, Grow It by Chicoro. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And I've been reading this book and I was a little bit confused about something. Within this book, there's a section called Detangling, and the section is actually called it's like step 1 of the Grow It step by step, and it's called step 1, all about detangling. And usually I know that there are 2 types of detangling. You have the dry detangling and the wet detangling. Now the dry detangling is done outside of the shower, and you detangle your hair section by section outside of the shower, whereas the wet detangling is inside the shower, where you saturate your hair with water, you apply your product, and then you detangle your hair. Since I went natural, I've been doing the wet detangling on my hair inside the shower, and as my hair is getting longer, I wanted to see if I will benefit in retaining of length if I detangle outside of the shower. So today I'm coming to you to demonstrate Chicoro's method of dry detangling, and I'm going to try and follow it. I took my notes and I'm going to try and follow it as best as I can. So the reason why she's emphasizing dry detangling before you do a wet detangling, even if you need it, is because wet hair is weakened hair. So wet hair, when hair is wet and sogging wet, that is when, according to Chicoro, it is more prone to damage. Now I always was under the idea that when you manipulate your hair while it's dry, that is when it's more prone to damage. But I feel that she's just saying that when you're trying to pull out your strand, when it's wet, it can damage more at that time. So when not to do dry detangling, according to Chicoro, you do not do dry detangling when your hair is dry. So natural hair is normally dry, but because of atmosphere, your hair still has some moisture. But when you have products that, like gels, that make your hair hard, and if your hair is dry and brittle, then you shouldn't do the dry detangling. You should first do the wet detangling on your hair, so that to remove the product buildup, you should first saturate your hair with water and remove the product buildup, and then do the wet detangling. Now, you do not need any products when you do the dry detangling, but if you do feel that your hair is really dry, for me right now, my hair is really dry. I can tell it that my hair is really dry. She suggests that you should just take a little bit of water and just mist it lightly, not soaking wet. So I'm just misting it lightly, okay, like this. So I just mist it lightly just to keep it wet. You're going to be using your fingers to do the manipulation. Make sure that your finger is absent of anything that can snag, so any hangnail. If you do have anything like a hangnail, make sure that you file it down, because you're going to be using your finger. Also, do this process, dry detangling process, when you have time, when you're not in a rush, because if you're impatient with your hair, you'll break it. So you want to do it when you have time. This process, compared to the wet detangling, takes a very long time, and that's why a lot of people don't do it. But for this today's demonstration, I will do it. Now, when you find a tangle in your hair, so while you're detangling your hair and you find the tangle, usually that tangle is locked in with other hair. Okay, and the locked in pattern, the middle of that, where everything jams up together, it's called the core tangle. Now what you want to do is you want to try and remove as much hair, separate as much hair from the core tangle. And she suggests that when you get to the core tangle section and there's just a little bit of tangle, she suggests that you just leave it in there. Now that kind of, I'm a little bit iffy about that, about leaving tangles. I would, if I see a tangle and I can't get it out after removing all the hair, I'll usually just snip it off. So, but she suggests just leave it in there. And she also suggests that when you get to the core section, you can then put a little bit of product and kind of rub the tangle in between your fingers just to loosen things up. If your hair is too short, you don't want to do the dry detangling, you can just go straight and do the wet detangling. When you're doing the dry detangling, after you detangled a section, so she actually suggests that you braid up the hair. Then you wash your hair while in braid. Okay, I've been washing my hair not while in braid, I've been washing my hair free, and I've been noticing that in the bathroom sometimes I'll see those little curly hair, and it's not as much as it was when I first started my natural hair journey. But regardless, any way that I can reduce it, I think would help. So we have nothing to lose. So today I'm going to show you how I dry detangle my hair according to Chicoro's Grow It method. Then taking this section at a time, okay, I'm going to loosen up my hair and I'm going to walk. Now it's in twist and I'm going to walk with this section first. So this section here, I'm going to tuck it in with the others. Now taking my hair, she suggests that you hold the hair at the base and kind of walk through each hair. So I'm walking through each, just feeling it, making sure there's no tangles in there. I'm walking in. So once I find a tangle, so now I've found a tangle, I'm going to take it and try and separate it. So this section has been fully detangled. An amount of hair loss, none, no hair loss from this section. So I'm going to take the other half of the twist, okay, start working it out. I feel a tangle, see, that's a tangle right there, and what I do is I just try and get as much hair out of the tangle. That's done, and then I continue what I'm doing. Okay. This section is done. So with this section done, I'm going to braid it up. This is the amount of hair that I lost. As you can see, it's very small amount, and I don't see any small pieces of hair, and the small pieces of hair will indicate breaking to me. I see a lot of hair with the white ball. Like this is one. With this method, I will be able to retain more length in my hair. And so the next thing that I'm going to do is go and I'm going to co-wash my hair with Onye Handmade Honey Hem, and I got this in my swap sack bag for March. So I will use that, and after that I will follow that up with a deep conditioning using my Eden Body Works all natural deep conditioner. So thank you so much for viewing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.